If you've never seen the 10 WWE matches that I'm about to show you, then you cannot call yourself a WWE fan until you do. Because these matches are not just good, they're iconic. They're the kind of matches that make you fall in love with pro wrestling all over again. And they're only gonna get better and better. So let's kick off the list at number 10 with a match that I really enjoy, and a lot of people here on my DWO channel also said had to be included on this list. And that's CM Punk versus John Cena for the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank 2011. A lot of people said this match must be on the list. And I think a big reason for that was the very cool atmosphere. This match took place in CM Punk's territory in Chicago. Every single person in that building, at least it feels like, was going absolutely crazy for CM Punk. You, John Cena, we don't like you. We don't want you. So many, if John Cena wins, we riot signs throughout the entire crowd. And we ended up getting this pretty lengthy match. Every single time John Cena did anything, he could do a punch or a clothesline, literally anything, and the crowd would go insane booing. And that was one of the things that I really enjoyed about this match, was the passion and the energy and the love that people really had for CM Punk, knowing they really wanted him to win in the actual physical matchup. Like, they took their time to get there. But the thing that I liked was that for the majority of the match, like the first portion of it, we kept seeing both of these guys counter each other's finishers. They wouldn't even be able to hit their finishers for a bit because the other guy would quickly counter into something else. One of my favorite parts of the match that I thought was a really cool little sequence was when CM Punk went to go do the GTS and John Cena instead countered it into an STFU. And I thought that was great because it just looked very cool. Like, the whole visual of it was very awesome. So the other part that I really enjoyed was seeing John Cena hit CM Punk with the attitude adjustment. If I remember correctly, he at least hit him with 2 attitude adjustments each and every single time CM Punk kicked out. Here's the deal. CM Punk said that as soon as he was done with this, that he was going to win the championship and he was going to leave. And he was going to leave the company with the championship, right? And so Vince McMahon does not want that. Vince McMahon does not want CM Punk as champion. So he does go out there in this matchup and he tries to, like, get involved, right? He brings out John Laurinaitis, but John Cena doesn't want things to go that way. John Cena doesn't want Vince McMahon or John Laurinaitis to get involved in any of this. He takes out John Laurinaitis, and that distraction by Vince McMahon kind of helped out CM Punk in scoring this victory. And even afterwards, Vince McMahon was not having it, sent out Alberto Del Rio to go out there and cash in on CM Punk, but he was not able to. And CM Punk takes out Alberto Del Rio, goes down into the crowd, celebrates with his fans, and even blows Vince McMahon a little kiss. A really great moment, and just really cool to see CM Punk fans behind CM Punk. So this is a match you must watch. But what was even better than this match? Well, it's this one right here. Randy Orton versus Cactus Jack for the Intercontinental title in a hardcore match at Backlash 2004. Talk about a star-making performance that put Randy Orton on the map. This was a match that I still remember the day after I watched it. I showed up to school and everybody in school knew me as a girl who loved pro wrestling. So they instantly started telling me, hey man, did you see this match? Did you see this match? Oh my God, everybody at school was talking about it. I didn't even realize these people were wrestling fans, but that's how much people, when they saw this, just wanted to talk about it, because to this day, it's still my favorite Randy Orton match ever. And the reason for that was it was about like a 20-something minute match. And throughout the entire time, all you get is nonstop hardcore action. I'm talking seeing Randy Orton get put through thumbtacks. When Randy got put through thumbtacks, here's the thing about Randy. This was the match that personally I think gave Randy some edge. Before, like, you always knew he was a good wrestler. You always knew he had the look. You always knew all of that. But with this match, he got edge. You saw him do things you never seen him do before. He got bloodied. Not only did he take a massive beating from Cactus Jack, but he also dished it out too. I mean, the dude got a barbed wire bat in the balls, guys, in the balls. When he went through the thumbtacks, that was a moment that I will never forget because I never thought that pretty boy Randy Orton would be going through thumbtacks. And the visual of him and his whole back is, oh, it's covered in the thumbtacks. Like, every time I think about it, it's just a crazy moment. He gets thrown off the stage. He puts Cactus Jack through a bed of barbed wire. I mean, they did so much in this match that I truly believe that this was the moment that completely rose Randy Orton to a whole other level. This is the reason that when you talk about the greatest of all time and you mention Stone Cold, John Cena, and all these other people, you also mention Randy Orton. Now, that match was hardcore violence at its finest, but when you think about iconic matches, they can mean a lot of different things. And this next match here has been noted as one of the most iconic ladder matches of all time. And that, my friends, is Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon, WrestleMania 10 for the Intercontinental Championship. This is a match that I think all WWE fans should watch at some point in their life, because when a lot of wrestlers today and even afterwards, when they go into ladder matches, they're constantly asked like, hey, which matches did you go back? Which matches did you go back and reference? And this is one that you're probably always going to hear wrestlers talk about. You're always going to hear them mention this match because this was one of the most exciting one-on-one ladder matches of all time. Shawn Michaels is known for putting on WrestleMania spectacles, and you saw him do just that. And you had two very awesome people. You had Razor Ramon with the machismo, just going out there and really giving Shawn Michaels everything he had. But Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, with all of the passion and everything that he comes with, of course, he was trying to do everything in his power to win this ladder match. Of course, as many of you know, this was also the first ever ladder match in WWE. And it's crazy to think that it's been almost 32 years since this match took place. What? Like, it's mind-blowing. And to this day, we're still talking about the significance of this ladder match. I have gone back and rewatched this match so many times, and I still remember the first time I watched it. The first time I watched it, I was a Razor Ramon fan, but I was a much bigger Shawn Michaels fan. And the whole entire time, I just remember being like, please, 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 like praying to the wrestling gods, let Shawn Michaels win this match, because I was so behind wanting to see him win, and they sucked me into the performance so much that I was just completely enthralled in what we were seeing here. So this is a match you need to see. Now, before I continue on with the rest of the matches, just know that they are going to get bigger, crazier, and more iconic. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button and join this channel if you love WWE. On to number 7 with two of the biggest WWE superstars of all time. Let's take you back to WrestleMania 17, the no DQ match for the WWF Championship between none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. The second you bring this match up to any WWE fan, the first thing they're gonna say is, oh shit, dude, that My Way song and that video package was absolutely crazy. And let me tell you, the video package itself was iconic too. But here's the thing, you had two of the biggest WWE stars of all time going head to head. Dude, even thinking about the poster, and it says, Houston, we have a problem. I will never forget leading up to the show going, oh my God, I don't know who's gonna win. I don't know what's gonna happen. And just like the magnitude of importance, because this was superstardom at its finest. Now, hear me out. Even though I loved the match, I loved everything surrounding Austin and Rock, the one thing I did not like, though, was the Stone Cold Steve Austin heel turn and aligning with Vince McMahon. Hell no. All right. When it comes to Vince and Stone Cold, those two guys must always be beefing. That is the way we like it. That is the way it should always be. Stone Cold Steve Austin turning heel was not a good idea. But everything aside from that, iconic. Now, this next match is probably one of the craziest ones that I am going to mention on this list, so get ready for it. The Undertaker versus Mankind in the Hell in a Cell match from King of the Ring 1998. I think that this is one of the coolest WWE matches that you can watch. And the reason for that is you had two very cool characters in The Undertaker, who is this spooky, dark subject, right? And then you have Mankind, who is crazy, insane, pathologically just not there. And he's very, very disturbed, right? Now, we all know that this is the iconic moment where Mankind gets thrown off of the Hell in a Cell, right? We've all seen that so many times. It's like embedded in our brains. We can paint a picture out of memory of it. But the thing that I love the most about it is how early on it happened in the match, because both guys kicked off the match at the top of the Hell in a Cell. So they didn't wait too long to tease anything. And before you knew it, right away, Mankind gets thrown off the Hell in a Cell. And so what you get after that is this real threat of, hey, he's not going to be able to continue this matchup anymore, but he does. He does continue, and he continues to endure so much pain because Undertaker ends up choke slamming him through the cage at the very top once again, but this time into the actual ring, and just continues to find all of these ways to what feels like kill Mankind. But no matter what, Mankind tries and tries to make it out alive, goes through thumbtacks, which was just an insane visual because not only does he go through the thumbtacks, he also rose in the thumbtacks. It's crazy. Unfortunately, Mankind was not able to defeat The Undertaker, but even though Mankind lost the match, I feel that Mankind is the real winner of this match because he is the one who did all of the craziest things, and he is the one that afterwards everybody was just standing ovation for Mankind and the iconic moment of him being thrown off the Hell in a Cell. It is a must watch for all WWE fans. Now, on to the next one. When I think of wrestling matches that I love the most, this is one that I think of. And that, my friends, number 5 is Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle, SummerSlam 2002. This match wasn't even 10 minutes long, okay? So if you want a quickie, but a good one, hey, all right, go watch Rey Mysterio and Kurt. Seriously, guys, you will not regret it. I went back and did an entire SummerSlam rewatch, meaning I watched every single SummerSlam ever back to back. And this match, out of the whole history of SummerSlam, was the match that got me going. I love professional wrestling. It was so good. Like, these two guys are at the top of their game. We know that Rey Mysterio was a game changer in pro wrestling, a huge influencer, and influenced so many pro wrestlers that came after him. Kurt Angle is my personal favorite wrestler in that he is the guy that always puts on just a hell of a performance. I can't even describe to you Kurt Angle in the ring. This man is a machine. And so you put those two things together and you get this beautiful, glorious, magnificent match. After this, I was just sitting down and going, my God, I never want to hear anyone compare anybody to Rey Mysterio. I never want to hear anybody compare anybody to Kurt Angle because these two guys are on a level of their own. But let's keep the list going. When you think of some of the best WWE matches and you ask WWE fans, they're 100% gonna mention this one here, and that is Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle, WrestleMania 21. This is the match that I never thought would end, all right? And I say that as a compliment because both of these guys fought so freaking hard that I truly believed that they would do anything, each of them, in their power to come out the victor. There were so many near falls. I just thought to myself, there's no way Shawn Michaels can defeat Kurt Angle, and there's no way Kurt Angle can defeat Shawn Michaels. I truly, for the life of me, could not decide who was going to win this match, who wanted it more, because that is how much they fought for it. Both of these guys went at 150% here. High intensity performance. I was there live for this match, and I will never forget the way that I was screaming. And mind you, I was at the nosebleeds, at the very, very top. And at no moment did that take away from this matchup here. And I've gone back, I've rewatched it, and I'm just so happy that these two guys got to wrestle in the ring. And they're two of my favorites. You gotta check this out if you haven't already. Now, if you thought that match was good, let me tell you about a match that changed my life. WrestleMania 17, the TLC match. Holy moly, guacamole. I hate to sound so basic, but damn. When people ask me, what is the match that made you a pro wrestling fan? This is it. Right here. This is the first match that will come out of my mouth. I am of this era. This is when I was like really watching wrestling, like just gotten started. I was a new fan. So I can't believe that I started off with this. Like, this was my time period, okay? Because the iconic moments that we saw here, you guys know which ones I'm talking about. Edge spearing Jeff Hardy off the top of the ladder. Bubba and Matt going through 4 freaking tables. The Swanton Bomb from Jeff Hardy. I have watched this match so many times. I think I know it by heart already. Mind you, this was part of one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time too. So while you're there watching that match, you're kind of all better off watching the entire show. I'm not going to tell you to skip anything. There are no skips on WrestleMania 17. But now it is time to get into the top 2 must-see WWE matches. Are you ready for it? Number 2, from WrestleMania 25, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. Where do I even begin with this one? Jesus, this is phenomenal. I can almost guarantee that each and every single WWE fan will have this match at the very top of their list, because what you got here, so many near falls as well. So many crazy moments, like Shawn Michaels kicking out of the tombstone after having gone through hell and back. Both guys doing so much, it felt like they went through war because they were so exhausted at one point. But even through that exhaustion, they were bringing their A+++ game. I mean, this is super crazy. I feel like they did such a good job too of building up the importance of this match, because you had Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania, right? The guy who always puts on the very best matches. And then you had The Undertaker with his WrestleMania streak. And not to mention that they would run this back a year later at WrestleMania 26, which I was there for and loved that match. The stakes were a lot higher than they were here because it was career versus streak for WrestleMania 26. I think the stakes and the story was maybe a lot stronger for WrestleMania 26, but I think the body, the physicality of the match that they had at WrestleMania 25 was definitely stronger. So if you just want to watch a great wrestling match between 2 legends who have not just a history of good matches in general, but also have a very high WrestleMania reputation, this is the one. But speaking of number 1, this is the match that every WWE fan must watch. Number 1 on this list, it is Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, WrestleMania 13, no disqualification submission match with Ken Shamrock as the special guest referee. So if you want to argue me as to why this is number 1, I have something that makes it carry a lot of weight. This is the first match to ever be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. So I feel like that should kind of make my argument for me, to be honest. But why is this match so great? Well, for one thing, it was the star-making performance for Stone Cold Steve Austin, who would go on to become the biggest WWE star ever, all right? But on top of that, we always talk about like smart matches, in-ring psychology, and how important everything that you do in a matchup is. And one of the smartest wrestlers in that everything he does is for a reason. He doesn't just do things for shits and giggles. That is Bret Hart. Bret Hart has been known for being a very, very smart professional wrestler. I feel like this is the perfect match if you want to understand in-ring psychology and why you should do things and not do things and what everything in a match means. This is the one to do that with, because every single little thing that was done in this match was done with purpose. And so, of course, the big moment comes when Stone Cold Steve Austin ends up passing passing out in this match. He is a bloody wreck. It is an insane visual that every single fan, again, can paint from memory because we've seen it so much. So if you've only seen the moment and you've never seen the match, you need to watch this match because this is one of the most important WWE matches, in my opinion, because again, of what it meant for Stone Cold Steve Austin and the overall brilliance of the matchup. That's a wrap for this video. In the comments section below, make sure to add which match you think absolutely needs to be included in this list, and tell me which ones on this list you absolutely love. I will be making sure to read those. And on top of that, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my review of Backlash, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel for more daily pro wrestling content. Catch you on the next one. Bye, everyone.